Hikaru! Hikaru!
Yeah, and I can get
Let's
cheese
go!
a little bit easily right now.
C5 takes. Man, I'm gonna cry right now. That's about to get fun here.
Like, I'm moving just a little bit too fast.
B3.
Which maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not the end of the world, but I definitely...
That's the man himself. Knight D2. Oh man, I don't like these tactics. I hate them. This. Knight to4. D6. Alright, Queen C4.
Yeah, I'm moving way too fast again.
Okay,
Not win the game, but...
This. Alright, this.
It's too slow.
A4.
Okay, I'll just go here.
Alright, maybe Queen C4. This. Knight C5. Nah. Oh man. Yeah, I lost.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yep, I played Hikaru again, and this time he called me slow. I played with white pieces, and as you could see, I blundered early on, but apparently it wasn't even a blunder, and I was actually quite good. He played this Aleka in defense, and look, I gotta come up with some other plans. So here apparently what I should play after c take d6 is knight c3, bishop e3, rook c1, and then bishop e2, not basically touching this knight for a while. Knight f3, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, bishop e3, knight c6. So my position here is of course slightly better. I mean, it's Aleka and he's just basically letting me push his knight to the edge of the board. Bishop e2, castle, h3, just to make sure. So let's say I play castle, there is bishop g4, and you know, slowly I start having problems, because now let's say I do something like b3, he can just play, I mean, he would still play d5, but I'm just showing you that there could be potentially some problems with this. But apparently here, I mean, I have bishop b7, but still, you know, I just want to avoid this bishop g4 option from black. d5, quite common, and apparently h3 is a bad move. I should have actually played castle or played d5, pushing the knight to the center, d5, knight e5, and then just takes, and something like bishop d4, trading the bishops off the board. But I decided to continue with the h3, d5, c5, knight c4, and now it's quite common idea for black. They go b6, Hikaru is trying to basically ruin my center, basically press the c5, d4 pawn, and I go c takes b6, a takes b6, and d5. I'm attacking the knight. I'm trying to basically attack b6 pawn at some point and hope that, you know, I can probably even trade these bishops on this diagonal. But Hikaru plays knight b4. Of course, I go bishop d4, which was my initial idea. And now Hikaru could have gone for bishop d4, like right away. He was telling during the game that, oh, I'm so fast, I'm playing so fast. So apparently here, queen d4 is the only option I have. I mean, knight d4 is one of the options, but apparently I have just too many problems with this d5 pawn, and then potentially, you know, the trouble with g2 pawn. So instead, knight d3 happened, bishop g7, king g7, and now b3. So I'm trying to distract this pawn of protecting d3 knight, making sure I can take and attack the knight. So Hikaru goes bishop a6. He indirectly protects both knight, pawn with this bishop on a6. And here I had multiple ideas. So look, my d5 pawn, I knew I would have troubles with this at some point, but I decided to take on c4, and here I realized that probably I'm gonna lose this pawn, so I should have gone for simple queen d2 just to make sure this pressure is still maintained, and maybe takes, knight c5, and then just protect the pawn on b3, and I would have been better. But again, against Hikaru, look at the time, by the way. So you'll see the time expenditure. I mean, you saw it during the game. Hikaru was just destroying me, and some of you actually roast me in chat for playing so slow against Hikaru. But guys, I mean, after all, it's Hikaru. So I played knight d2, which is apparently a blunder because I allowed black to take on d5. And Hikaru could actually take it, and I knew he could take, but he decided to go for tricks. He went knight b2, and evaluation bar just was going up and up. Because the idea is here, I played queen g4, I was attacking the bishop on c4. But if I would have played queen c2, attacking the knight, and now, I mean, if he moves the knight, I take the bishop, right? But only move is here, right? So I would just take here, of course bishop f1 would have been played, and now I would just play here. And the idea is, this knight is not going out. This knight trapped itself. Hikaru played fast and he blundered, but I mean, I played 2 blunders in a row, queen g4, bishop f1, and now I played queen d4. I was still like, okay, this knight might potentially not go anywhere. King g8, rook f1, and after b5. Again, another blunder, so many blunders in this game, at least, you know, 3 blunders. I made 2 blunders and Hikaru did another blunder. Knight c e4. So my idea was to play d6 and maybe try to get my knight to f6 and set up some checkmate ideas. Of course I knew it would have been tough, I mean I'm playing against Hikaru. Computer thinks knight b5 wasn't actually good option. Because, you know, I take a pawn, I attack the knight, and if, let's say, rook a2, there is some d6. And, you know, I'm not in trouble anymore, as computer says. Let's say queen d7, I just play takes, and then knight d4. And, you know, my knights are not looking bad here. I mean, knight f6 is coming, you know, knight c3, knight d5 might come. So my knights are actually compensating me for that exchange. And especially in bullet, I mean, when you don't have time, you know, that knights are very scary. Knight c4, and here I decided to go for d6. You know, I really want Hikaru to take, and if he would have taken, this would have been a draw, because now let's say takes, I mean, it's just a bit worse for black pieces. Rook a6 was played, which was another mistake from Hikaru. I'm not sure if he actually wanted to play this, or rook a6 was played with the idea of protecting f6 jump from f6 jump. I'm not sure, because okay, it looked normal. Queen c4 attacking the rook, because here, alright, queen c4 comes with the tempo. I mean, technically I have a pawn for an exchange. Rook b6, and here again final mistake. I should have kept the pressure. I should have played queen d4. I should never touch this pawn, because basically if he ever takes, knight f6 is coming very strong. And computer says f5, and what I would probably would have never found is rook d1, and let's say this, there is takes. And the idea is queen d4, I take, and we're transposing to throwish rook endgame. And if takes, there is this rook unprotected, and I'm actually winning. But instead, d takes e7 was played by me, queen e7, rook e1. I was still trying to go for some knight f6 ideas at some point. Rook e6, f3, rook e8, and here I had nothing to do, just push the pawn, try to basically exploit some weaknesses. Rook c1, but Hikaru was quite, you know, strong here. Didn't let me do anything, and after rook e2, king h3, queen c8, g4, queen b8, it turns out I have almost no defense from h2, knight e6, queen c7, and here, as you could see, I admitted my loss. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this game. Let me know in the comments what I could have done better. I'll see you in the next recaps. Bye bye.